Hello, everyone. My name is Matthew Seidel, and I serve as the student liaison to Oakland University's Board of Trustees. Over the past year, Provost Amy Thompson has taken meaningful steps to ensure that student voices are part of the university's decision-making process. One of the most significant has been the creation of the OU Student Advisory Council, which builds on OU's tradition of listening to students in a new and intentional way. This council brings together students from across our schools and programs, creating a direct channel for sharing perspectives with university leadership and contributing to conversations about Oakland's future. That commitment reflects something Provost Thompson shared early in her time at OU, that her motto is, quote, "Students first, students always." Over the past year, the results of that dedication have been clear. One example is the Midterm Grades Initiative, providing students with a clearer snapshot of their academic progress earlier in the semester, creates opportunities for timely support, and helps keep students on track towards graduation. Another important area of focus has been exploring more efficient pathways to degree completion, including reduced credit bachelor degrees. When complete, OU will be the first public university in Michigan to offer these programs, helping students save thousands of dollars in tuition and living costs while earning their degree. For many students and families, that kind of innovation can make a meaningful difference in access and affordability. Together, these efforts reflect one of Oakland University's greatest strengths, its power to create opportunity and social mobility. At this moment, our capacity to support and empower future students has never been greater. It's clear that Provost Thompson approaches her role not simply as an administrator, but as a leader who is present, engaged, and deeply invested in the success of Oakland University students. Please join me in welcoming Provost Amy Thompson to the stage.
Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you, Matt, for that kind introduction. It's a pleasure to welcome you to my first State of Academic Affairs, Advancing Academic Excellence. I hope you enjoyed the opening images highlighting the extraordinary work happening across our campus. Those images are more than snapshots. They reflect the talent, the commitment, and impact that defined Oakland University. 1 year ago, on this very day, I came to OU for my dream job, serving as your provost in my home state at a university whose mission I deeply believe in. Our mission is centered on impact for our students through opportunity and social mobility, and impact for the region that we serve. We are stewards of place. Over the last year, we've accomplished a great deal together, and there's much to celebrate and even more to aspire to. I am deeply grateful for each and every one of you and your commitment to bring our students and our academic community together. At the same time, we know that the environment around us is shifting. Higher education is facing real headwinds. Demographic changes, political pressures, and funding constraints. The institutions that will thrive are those that remain nimble, are innovative, and adapt with clarity and discipline. Oakland University will be one of them. But today is not about reacting to challenges. It's about advancing with purpose. We are strengthening academic excellence through our 3 E's: engagement, efficiency, and effectiveness, by focusing on several priorities that will shape our next chapter. Our priorities are clear: student success, faculty success, building momentum towards an R1 designation, and modernization and alignment of the academic enterprise. These are not separate initiatives. They are one strategy, and they're also closely aligned with our strategic vision 2030. So I'd like to spend some time highlighting each and every one of these key priorities. Priority number one, student success is our North Star. It is our why. It's not a department or an add-on. It's the measure of whether we are delivering on our promise to students and to the communities that we serve. When students succeed at Oakland University, it changes the trajectory of families, careers, and communities. And 98% of our employed graduates remain right here in Michigan. They build careers and raise families. Together, OU students, staff, faculty, and alumni generate $5.9 billion in economic impact. Student success at Oakland does not just change individual lives. It strengthens community and powers the region. As a first-generation college student myself, I understand the transformational power of education, and for our incoming class, they are students who need us more than ever. More than 50% of our students are Pell eligible. Over 40% are first generation. Nearly 30% are underrepresented minorities. We're proud of these numbers because they represent access, opportunity, and social mobility in action. But they also represent a responsibility. For example, for the start of fall semester to the beginning of winter term, we had over 900 students not return to OU, and they did not graduate. Every one of these students deserves to cross the finish line, and we must do everything in our power to make that happen. Our students do need us now more than ever, with challenges such as COVID learning loss and mental health. We are also seeing some of the lowest math and writing scores that we have seen in 12 years. This requires new strategies for us to meet students where they are and ways that we can foster learning to ensure that we retain and persist our students. Today, our first time in any college retention rate is 76%. Our 3-year goal is to reach a record 81%. That goal is achievable, and it matters. Student success is academic excellence. To deliver on student success, we must make the path clear, attainable, and meaningful. First, make the path clear. Students should not have to master a bureaucracy in order to graduate. Our programs must be structured for progress and aligned to meaningful outcomes. Second, make the path attainable. We must remove unnecessary bottlenecks, confusing requirements, and avoid repetition. Our general education revision will play an important role as we work to create a more seamless liberal arts foundation. I also want to recognize the leadership of Leila Gassus, Maria Pano, and Kathy Battles, our Provost Fellow, for their outstanding work guiding this process. I look forward to seeing this effort finalized and implemented. I'm also looking forward to the implementation of our new CourseDog software that will help our course scheduling easier for faculty and to help ensure their courses are offered in a way that improves student completion. Could we please give Tricia Rustergaard a round of applause? Incredible work. Third, make the path meaningful. Students are asking a simple question: will this degree matter? We must answer with outstanding teaching, relevant curriculum, and experiential learning opportunities such as internships, research, and service learning that fulfill the promise of the OU Pledge. To move this work forward, we've developed a retention plan that includes expanding midterm grade participation. And I am thrilled to report that this semester we reached 49% overall for faculty participation and 51% submission rate for undergraduate students. And I know that we can continue building on that momentum for our students. So thank you, faculty, for all of the good work that you have done. We are also redesigning gateway courses. Faculty leadership in this work has already reduced DFWI rates by 7% in some of our most challenging courses. We are also implementing an anytime alert system, and we're currently adopting a new platform that will allow for earlier intervention and support. And we are strengthening re-enrollment efforts through a new communication plan that helps students stay on track and register for the courses that they need. We are using predictive analytics to identify and support students who may be at increased risk in their academic journey. For example, did you know that students who come from a high school where fewer than 30 of their peers also are enrolled at OU and have a relatively high GPA are at a risk for not being retained at OU? We must use data to help inform our strategies. And lastly, we are enhancing academic resilience by strengthening academic probation programs and improving advising support. These are not isolated tactics. They're system improvements, clear in structure, attainable in cost and time, meaningful and measurable in outcomes. Student success belongs to all of us. To reinforce the importance of this work and to recognize those who exemplify it, we are introducing 4 new Student Success Champion Awards right here today. And we have received an amazing 190 nominations across the 4 categories. So let's say congratulations first to all those who were nominated. I'd like to ask Neil Baumgardner to please join me on stage to recognize some very extraordinary individuals and to present these prestigious awards. And as their names are called, they will come up. So first, the Student Success Champion Award for a faculty member or academic department is presented to Dr. Chao-Ning Su. Dr. Su is an associate professor in communication, journalism, and public relations, and director of the Public Relations and Advertising program. She was nominated multiple times by both students and colleagues, and her nominations tell a clear story. Dr. Su is an exceptional educator, mentor, and advocate for her students. Her teaching is immersive and applied, bringing the industry into the classroom and giving students opportunities to engage with real-world challenges. She's deeply invested in her students, taking the time to understand their goals and connect them with opportunities and help them build the confidence that they need to succeed. She removes barriers, opens doors, and helps students see what's possible. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Chao-Ning Su. So proud of you.
Thank you so much.
It's amazing.
Yes, thank you. Appreciate this.
Thank you. Thank you. The Student Success Champion Award for a staff member or department office is presented to the Oakland University Counseling Center. Nominators shared that the Counseling Center plays a vital role in supporting student well-being, often in ways that are both visible and unseen. Through counseling services, support groups, crisis response, and partnerships across campus, the team ensures students have access to care when they need it the most. It also equips faculty and staff to better recognize and respond to student needs. What stood out was not only the breadth of its work, but also its responsiveness, compassion, and presence in moments that matter the most. The Counseling Center shows up consistently and with care. It's a trusted resource and a cornerstone of student success at OU. Please join me in congratulating them. The Student Success Champion Award for a student or student organization is presented to Shamaya Woods. Shamaya is a senior majoring in human resource development. Nominators share that she represents the very best of OU. She has held roles in multiple offices, including undergraduate admissions, the Center for Multicultural Initiatives, First Year Advising Center, orientation, and new student programs, helping students navigate the transition to college with confidence. Her leadership is grounded in purpose and authenticity. She leads with integrity, takes initiative, and consistently centers others' success and well-being. What sets Shamaya apart is the impact that she has in every space that she enters. She builds connections, strengthens communities, and leaves a lasting impression. Please join me in congratulating Shamaya Woods. Our last award, the Student Success Champion Award for a cross-functional or collaborative team, is presented to the First Year Advising Center and the Career and Life Design Center. Nominators described their collaboration as a powerful example of what's possible when we align our work around student success. These teams reimagined how we support students as they explore their academic path. Focusing on the strengths and interests of our exploring students, they have removed stigma and reinforced that discovery is a valuable part of the journey. This partnership builds a more coordinated system of support, allowing students to explore with direction and confidence. And the results speak for themselves. Retention rates over the past 2 exploring cohorts have exceeded the overall FDIAC rate, and more students are declaring their majors earlier. Please join me again in congratulating the teams from First Year Advising and the Career Life Design Center. So proud of you. Back to our priorities. Our second priority is faculty success. Faculty are the backbone of our university. Your teaching is world-class. You ignite curiosity and ambition. Your scholarship advances knowledge, and your mentorship changes lives. We continue to double down on faculty development in the Center for Teaching and Learning, improving our pedagogy and practice. And I would like to thank Sarah Hosch and her team for their leadership. Thank you, Sarah. Faculty mentoring is also a priority, and we have brought Dr. Joe Rieger on board as Provost Fellow to help ensure that all faculty have access to mentorship, guidance, and support for career growth. We're also launching a mid-year academy to support faculty scholarship and productivity. Our climate survey indicated a desire for better communication and leadership, and we have heard you. In my office, we continue to hold monthly breakfasts for faculty and staff to listen, to learn, and improve our culture and our communication. We have also launched a new faculty advisory group to ensure that diverse voices are at the table. Our weekly newsletter, Forward Together, helps to ensure clear and regular communication. And I want to acknowledge the partnership with the Senate Steering Committee, the University Senate, and the AAUP. All of them have been very valuable partners, and I'm grateful for the shared commitment to solving challenges and advancing OU together through shared governance. Lastly, and I'm excited about this, to invest in our faculty, I'm excited to announce that we'll be creating a new Faculty and Innovation in Teaching grant program to support projects and enhance student success. We have allocated $50,000 to this effort, and beginning later today, faculty will be able to submit applications for up to $10,000 in funding for the upcoming fiscal year. And I'm happy to provide this funding and support and invest in our amazing faculty. I believe in you and your success. Our third priority is building momentum towards a Research 1 designation. Research matters deeply to the future of Oakland University. It strengthens the education that we provide. It expands opportunities for our students and increases our impact across the region and beyond. As research activity grows, universities attract exceptional faculty, deepen graduate education, build industry and community partnerships, and create new pathways for discovery and innovation. Research excellence is not separate from student success. It amplifies it. Students who participate in research learn how to ask better questions. They analyze complex problems. They work with data, and they contribute to new knowledge. Those experiences shape careers and prepare our graduates to lead in a rapidly changing world. Strengthening our research environment expands opportunities for our students, our faculty, our university, and our region. President Pescovitz challenged us to elevate our research activity and our doctoral production, an aspiration that aligns with the direction our university is already moving. The Carnegie classification for R1 universities recognizes institutions of research activity and doctoral education. To reach R1 status, universities must exceed $50 million in research expenditures and average at least 70 research doctoral graduates annually. Oakland University is building strong momentum towards that milestone. Last year, the university reached $35.7 million in research expenditures, reflecting sustained growth in faculty scholarship and externally funded research. Our doctoral education has also expanded. We awarded 60 research doctorates in 2023 and 2024, 77 in 2024 and 25. Now, for the current academic year, we've already awarded 60 research doctorates, and 55 additional doctoral candidates have applied for 2026 graduation. This is exciting. But these numbers represent more than growth in metrics. They reflect new knowledge created by our faculty and students, new experts entering the workforce, and expanding opportunity for students to engage in meaningful discovery while they attend Oakland. They are compelling reasons and benefits to elevate the status of becoming an R1 university. Now, to sustain this momentum, we must stay focused on alignment and investment. We must support faculty in their discovery. We must expand scholarships and doctoral pathways for students. We must strengthen research infrastructure and grant development, and build interdisciplinary and external partnerships, and continue to cultivate a culture where discovery is supported and celebrated. And I am pleased to share that Dr. Gerard Madlambayan has been named a Provost Fellow in the Office of Research. In this role, he'll work closely with faculty and leadership to identify strategic opportunities, remove barriers, and accelerate progress towards our research goals. Becoming an R1 university is not about a designation alone. It's about expanding what's possible at Oakland University, enhancing stronger partnerships with industry and community organizations, and a deeper contribution to the economic and intellectual vitality of our region. We have the talent, we have the trajectory, and we have the ambition. And together, we must sustain the focus and alignment required to reach that next level while continuing to build a culture where discovery is supported and celebrated. Now, this work will not happen overnight, but we will have an aim to accomplish this within the next 5 years. Our fourth and final priority is future-facing and essential to our way forward: modernizing and aligning our academic enterprise to support student success. If student success is our North Star, then modernization and alignment of the academic enterprise help charts our course. Higher education is changing because of external pressures and internal realities. But one truth that remains constant: the institutions that will thrive are those that design their academic enterprise around student demand, quality, innovation, and outcomes. We must continually ask whether our programs are structured to help students move forward clearly, efficiently, and with purpose. As Provost and Chief Academic Officer, it is my responsibility to ensure that our academic systems support student success and are meeting the goals of a modern world. As mentioned in many of my presentations since arriving at OU, modernization touches many parts of the academic enterprise. It includes clear academic maps and pathway transparencies, so students understand exactly how to advance from their first semester all the way to graduation, what courses they need, when do they need them, and how each step connects to their degree and career goals. Our degree plans must be accurate and aligned with our course offerings. Undergraduate students must be able to actually complete their degree in 4 years or less. It includes fostering interdisciplinary program growth where we bring together expertise across disciplines to address complex challenges and create programs that reflect how knowledge, research, and innovation happen in the real world. Modernization includes strengthening community college transfer pathways so students who begin their education at a partner institution can transition smoothly to OU, build on the credits that they've earned, and continue moving forward without losing momentum. And remember, over 40% of our students are transfer students. This is a substantial number of our students, and we must be prepared to support them and help them be successful given their unique needs. It includes workforce alignment, ensuring that our academic programs reflect evolving industry needs and prepare students with the knowledge, skills, and experience that employers are seeking, such as micro-credentials, and also introducing stackable credentials that can lead to a degree and a good job. And modernization includes flexible course delivery options, expanding online, hybrid, and alternative formats so students can pursue a high-quality Oakland education while balancing work, family, and responsibilities and other commitments. If we are going to grow our overall enrollment, we must design 100% online programs that students will want to enroll in from outside the Tri-County region and beyond. I'm excited that we are hiring a new Associate Vice President of Digital and Global Learning, whose primary goal is to help our faculty in this space, as well as to help connect them with international growth opportunities. This kind of alignment allows us to meet students where they are, while maintaining the academic rigor and excellence that defines Oakland University. And one of the most important ways that we modernize is through our curriculum. It must be accessible, affordable, and aligned to outcomes. At Oakland University, less than 40% of our undergraduate students borrow federal loans to help pay for college. That is really something to be proud of here. At the same time, our 6-year graduation rate for students entering as FDX is only 58%. We can do better, and we will. A key step is to review the required credit hours. And let me be clear, this is not about lowering our standards or a race to the bottom. This is a ladder to the top for getting a good job and a promising career. It's about removing the friction that delays graduation and increased cost. Every single additional credit hour that isn't essential to learning outcomes adds tuition, time, scheduling complexity, and the risk of a student stopping out. These burdens disproportionately affect first-generation students, transfer students, working students, and those balancing family responsibilities. We are not reducing credits to do less. We are aligning credits to our peer institutions and to help students focus on what matters most. And this requires us to ask disciplined questions. Does every requirement clearly connect to learning outcomes? Are we duplicating content across courses? Are students accumulating excess credits because pathways are unclear? Are we unintentionally creating 5-year plans for 4-year degrees? Our promise to students should be simple. If you follow the plan, you will graduate on time and without surprises. Reducing unnecessary credit hours is one of the most powerful strategies for student success. It supports affordability, completion, equity, and momentum. And it allows for students to invest in what makes Oakland University exceptional: internships, research, clinical placements, service learning, study abroad, and other high-impact experiences. Through shared governance, our faculty have taken important steps, voting to allow reduced credit degrees and lowering minimum credit requirements for graduate programs. This is our chance for Oakland University to be the first public university in Michigan to offer students the option to earn a reduced credit degree. This is going to be a game changer for our students, and I am proud of this work. It reflects thoughtful leadership here and a willingness to collaborate and to evolve to serve students and industry needs. Modernization also requires us to prepare for emerging realities. Artificial intelligence is reshaping industries and the workforce. Jobs are being created, others are changing. The skills our graduates need are evolving rapidly, and we cannot just ignore this transformation. We've appointed a Provost Fellow in AI, Dan Arnold. This leadership will help build the infrastructure needed to support faculty pedagogy, research innovation, and student workforce preparation. Similarly, sustainability is central to our Strategic Vision 2030. I am pleased to share that Steve Stanton, has been named Provost Fellow in Sustainability. In this role, he'll help faculty integrate sustainability into the curriculum and scholarship. I am excited to see us build on the expertise and the passion that many of our faculty already have in this area. Finally, modernization requires ongoing evaluation of our academic structures. Through shared governance, we'll continue to review alignment across programs and units and strengthen interdisciplinary collaboration and identify opportunities for greater engagement, efficiency, and effectiveness. This is how we advance academic excellence, not by standing still, by continuously refining the systems that support it. We have to always strive to do better and be better for our students. As we move forward, I want to leave you with this. Student success as our North Star, faculty success, momentum towards R1 designation, and modernization and alignment of the academic enterprise. These are not four separate priorities. They are one strategy. Academic excellence that is accessible, efficient, and impactful. This is how we graduate more students and prepare them for a changing world. This is how we strengthen our impact across Michigan. This is how we advance knowledge with national recognition. I now invite President Pescovitz to join me as we begin our conversation together. Or would you please come up?
A few words about Amy. I have to say that probably the smartest thing I've done, I'm now in my 9th year here as president, was to hire Amy, the best provost in the country. Let's give her a round of applause. I think you'll agree that that was a really terrific presentation, so thank you. I also want to acknowledge that 2 members of our Board of Trustees are here with us today. Mel Brown and Trina Scott, please raise your hand so everybody can acknowledge you. And thank you, Matt, for introducing Amy and representing our entire student body here today. And congratulations to all the award winners and our new Provost Fellows. So thank you so much, Amy.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. So when you RSVP'd, there was a little column on the side to submit a question. So we had several questions that we've curated into 6 total questions. First one is kind of an opening one. We had the chance to recognize some remarkable colleagues this morning. Reflecting on their work and the work happening across the university, could each of you share a recent moment at OU that gave you confidence in the university's direction? Oral, we'll start with you.
Okay. I'm going to use 2 examples, if that's okay, John. First of all, I'll mention something that was on the news this weekend on Michigan Matters. We had the opportunity to celebrate one of our alums, Mike Bickers, who I think was a perfect example of an Oakland student. Mike is currently the regional CEO for PNC Bank. And he's a great example of what we think about when we want to talk about student success, and really is just exactly what we hope for. So he is the regional CEO of PNC, but he came from inner city Detroit and lived in very difficult circumstances. But he's the perfect example of the power of education. He's an Oakland alum and shows what can happen when you get educated at a great university like Oakland. And now that he's the CEO there at PNC, he's giving back. And the reason he was on Michigan Matters this weekend is because He's giving back with a wonderful scholarship to support student housing here. And I was privileged to be there to talk about that program. So I think that's a really great example. I want to use a second example because it's going to happen tonight, and I hope some of you will be there. Our programs at SMTD are going to be hosting a wonderful performance at Orchestra Hall. We expect maybe 1,000 people there. And it's a great example of community engagement. And so our fantastic faculty and students and community members will be performing there. And again, it's a great example of what we do.
Yeah, I would like to give two examples too. First of all, over the weekend, I attended one of our hackathons on campus, which was for 24 hours. And I'm not exactly sure what they were hacking, but it was a fantastic event. And the students were literally on campus for 24 hours straight. And it just reminds us of the excitement of learning, the innovation that is part of the fabric of our campus. And the second example I would like to just share is, and some of you may know this, but I come from shared governance, and I was a faculty senate president when I was at the University of Toledo, and that's something that is really important to me. And I am really optimistic about the work that's happening through shared governance across our campus. And recently through Senate, of course, our reduced credit degrees were approved, and that was just such a robust and wonderful conversation, and lots of different viewpoints. But we actually were able to pass that, and I really appreciated the care, the thought that everybody put into that. The work that we're doing with Student Congress, I think, is fantastic. Really proud of the relationship that our office and our team is developing with the AAUP. And I'm very optimistic. We are always better when we are together. And I'm really excited about that.
Good. Second question. This one's a little tougher. What is OU doing to improve staff and faculty morale, address burnout across the university, and strengthen our workplace culture? Again, Aura, we'll start with you.
Sure. Well, some of you are probably, I hope everyone is aware that one of the things that we did as a baseline to the Strategic Vision 2030 was we conducted a culture survey that we called OU and You. I don't see Joy, but I think she's here. Oh, yeah, there you are. Okay. That we conducted. And we did that intentionally because we thought that it was very important before we launched the strategic vision to have a baseline of what the culture was like, recognizing that we likely had some areas of strength and some areas of weakness, and knowing that in the strategic vision, we were going to make our people and the culture a critical component of what we wanted to focus on, and that it was an area that we wanted to strengthen and make it a very important part of our pathway. And the culture survey, as we expected, did identify areas of strength and areas of weakness, and morale and feelings of belonging were some of the areas that were identified. Well, we found significant strengths. People love being here. Many of you have been here not just for weeks or months or years, but decades, and you've spent your careers here, and people feel an enormous sense of pride for being at the institution. But we also identified areas of weakness too. There was some feeling that concern about our leadership and leadership of the deans and leadership that we had across the board. And so we've identified those areas as gaps. And so we, as a result of that, areas of concern about communications. And so we now have a committee under Joy's leadership, Sarah Butash and Michelle Hammond, representing staff and faculty, that are working on identifying those areas that were identified as gap areas to focus on how we can address the weaknesses and focus on them. Amy referred to the conversations that she's having regularly with faculty, and I'm having communications regularly with faculty and staff as well. And collectively, all of these are efforts that we're working on to try to address those many points.
Yeah, I echo Aura's thoughts on this. This is something that is very much a priority to both of us. And we all spend so much time here at work that we want this to be a place that people want to come to work, that they feel seen, that they feel heard. And we're making every opportunity to try to be available and get feedback. We want feedback. And, I mentioned in my talk how we've got, faculty advisory groups. And we're trying to get diverse people that, maybe might not be on university senate and, can hear different viewpoints. The other thing I just want to highlight is the work out of Subtle, because recently they did a workshop on faculty burnout and how to improve that. So these are things that we want to continuously, solicit your ideas and ways that we can be better, but we're very committed to this.
Yeah, now for emphasis, I'll just add the reason that we, of the 5 pathways in the strategic vision, put our people first is because although we recognize that we have gaps and weaknesses, we wanted to prioritize our people and make it clear to all of our people that without an emphasis on the people, nothing else really matters. So we recognize that this is the single most important thing. And we never shy away. Neither one of us or the rest of our leaders all recognize that when we have a weakness or a gap, we are transparent about it, we are focused on it, we're willing to tackle it, and we welcome feedback and criticism, and we're right there ready to address it.
Question number 3. In the current national environment, how can we continue to foster an inclusive campus and build on the progress we've already made? Laura, start us off.
Okay. Well, I think all of you are aware that we are certainly facing a challenging national environment. I have to say, I've been in public education, higher education for now close to 35 years. And it's always been a challenging environment. But I will say that this is perhaps the most challenging environment that I've ever seen. And yet, I am very proud of where we are at Oakland. I met with a couple of our leaders this morning and just commented on the fact that I think we are recognized both regionally and in the state as well as nationally as actually among our peers. And I don't mean just peers as regional public universities, but higher education institutions of really being forerunners and really being on the forefront of standing up for our values. I've said this to many of you before. We will always follow the law. But at the same time, we are totally upfront about standing for our values. And we do this more than I believe many other institutions have during these very challenging times. And we have not shied away from speaking out and speaking up for what we believe in. And we've done this very, very directly and very vocally. So we speak out about freedom of speech. We speak out about tolerance. We have been very proud of our Center for Civic Engagement under Dave Dulio's leadership. And we welcome diverse viewpoints. We welcome people from different geographies, different religions, different viewpoints, different races. I am extremely proud of how Oakland has tackled very complex issues. And we just came back this weekend from the AGB meeting, which is a meeting of trustees across the country. And I will just say that trustees from other universities, including the flagship universities, approached me because they are proud of how we at Oakland have handled many complex issues and actually asked me for advice on how they should handle some complex issues because their universities have struggled more than we have. And so I'm very proud of how we have managed. Now, that's not to say that we have all the solutions, but I do think that we have processes in place and a community that really welcomes debate, diversity, and civility for how we tackle things. And I'll just mention one last thing. I know you probably have a lot of questions, and I want to give Amy a chance to respond to this. But I'm very proud of a new program that we are actually piloting this semester, and Dave is actually leading a course on this. We're teaching a course using a book called the Civility Book, and two journalists actually wrote this book, the Civility Book. Stephen Henderson, who's a liberal journalist, and Nolan Finley, who is a conservative journalist. And they wrote this book together. They disagree on just about everything, but they wrote the Civility Book together because they've learned to tackle these issues in a civil fashion. And Dave is teaching this course in a pilot fashion for our athletes and our honor students. And our hope is that by using this book as a foundation, along with Stephen Henderson and Nolan Finley, that we will then introduce this course to all of our freshmen in coming years, teaching them how to debate complex issues, but in a civil fashion. And we're hoping to roll this out in a national way as well. So I'm very proud of where we are in this.
Yeah, I agree with you. And before even coming here and researching Oakland University, I will say that our positionality on this is one of the things that attracted me here. And having a president that would speak out on certain key issues that are important to inclusion and belonging. And again, some of you might remember when I first arrived, one of the first things that I did with my team, and actually in partnership with Glenn McIntosh in Student Affairs, was to start the You Belong campaign. And we have now messaging around campus, and our first year student welcome was focused on that. This coming year, we will also keep that as a theme. So this is really important to us, that we focus on making people feel seen, heard, included. And I know both of us have inclusive leadership styles, that we want to hear from lots of different people, and we intentionally try to make sure that there's different people at the table.
Right. Well, and I think you all hopefully do know that, and always feel welcome to come speak to us at any time.
Okay, question 4 has a few parts to it. As the enrollment landscape becomes more challenging, what steps is OU taking to strengthen both recruitment and retention? And where can faculty and staff make the biggest impact? Or you can go first.
Yeah, I'll start first, but I'll probably pitch this one mostly to Amy. I took the lead on the last one. This is a national problem with enrollment, and it's a particular problem here in Michigan and the Midwest. Some states have an advantage. People are moving to Florida and Arizona and Texas, but they're moving away from Michigan, and we certainly aren't making as many babies here in Michigan. So we really do have an enrollment challenge. But the single best thing that we can do, and Amy talks about this all the time, is retain the students that we have. That will be the single best way for us to increase enrollment. But there are many other strategies, and Amy alluded to many of them in this fantastic talk that she just had and gave. I'll let you take the lead on answering this question.
Sure. And let me just say, we have an outstanding enrollment management team. Don Aubrey, your team, you work tirelessly on this issue. And Laura's right. It's a real challenge here in Michigan. The projections within the next 10 years are to be down around 15%. And I'm really excited about the work that is happening in this space. Dawn and her team have been working on a SEM 2.0 plan. We're doing some things that we're expanding on things, doing things that we've never done before. We're hiring 2 new regional recruiters to put them across the state in places that we believe we can attract more students from. In my talk, I talked about international recruitment. Here at Oakland, we have about 700 international students. We could potentially have 2 to 3 times that. And so we are really investing on some international agents and recruiters in that area, some marketing efforts. We're really excited about what that can do. I'm also asking for your partnership as we think about expanding our academic outreach with online programming and, again, having someone to help us on that work. We have, of course, Chris Pilsner, who has joined us, who's just exceptional. And part of attracting new students is also developing our brand and our marketing. And so some really, really exciting work is happening in that space, and I couldn't be more excited. But you know, the question also lends itself is, well, what can I do? What is my role? You are all ambassadors for Oakland in everything that you do, in the way that you interact with people. When students come onto campus and their families, do you stop? Do you talk to them? Do you smile? Do you ask questions of them? You know, what do you tell your neighbor? What do you tell people, you know, when you go to church? How do you talk about the place that you work? We all have an opportunity to recruit our students, and we all also have a role on how to retain our students in the work that we do across our campus.
Question 5. The one you both knew would be coming when we put a request out for questions. This one's obviously from the faculty. We've heard the provost discuss where we are in the path from R2 to R1 status. And this was even before your presentation. So this one's predominantly directed to you. Could you share a bit more about why this is an important priority for the university?
Well, I think Amy did a great job in her presentation talking about research. I will add one thing at the beginning here, and just to say, you know, what is the difference? And this is really directed at the faculty in a way. What's the difference between a community college and a university? You know, community colleges teach students. Community colleges would say that they prepare students for careers and certainly for jobs. We can talk about whether they could prepare students for jobs or careers, but they do much of what we do. But one big differentiator between community colleges and universities is research. And we are a research university. Now, it doesn't mean that every person sitting in this room or even every faculty member needs to do research, but the university needs to do research. Why is research important? I think, Amy, you did a fantastic job providing many of the reasons. But we as a country do research because we want to advance new knowledge. We don't want to be in 2026 at the same place that we're going to be in 2030. And we want the United States to advance. Where in the country are advances supposed to come from? They primarily come from research institutions. And who is supposed to create those advances in new knowledge in every field? I know many of you think it's primarily because I came out of a research environment and spent my career doing research, but that isn't the case at all. Research does happen in fields like mine, in medicine and science, but they come out of every field. Of course, they come out of, I'm looking at our dean from engineering and engineering, but they come out of biology, but they come out of education. They come out of literature. They come out of history. You know, you think about history just discovering the past, but you have to do research in history as well. And so research applies to everything, and we create new knowledge. And as you did a fantastic job of presenting why understanding new knowledge creates an environment that is important for our students. And it's not just for graduate students, it's for undergraduate students as well. And that new knowledge is what is critical for the future. We solve real-world problems. We change the way we understand the world. And it is important for recruiting the best faculty as well. And not just for those faculty that do research, but it has a trickle-down effect for everyone in the institution. So becoming a Research One institution also helps our community because there is a direct correlation between what we do in research and what we do in economic impact and the environment around us. And the Research One institutions in Michigan are making a significant impact. And the most recent addition that just became a Research One institution, is getting all kinds of kudos here in Michigan from having become a Research One institution. And as you heard from Amy, we're really not that far from it. It is an achievable goal, and having aspirational goals is why you recruited me 9 years ago and why I recruited Amy a year ago. And we should all have aspirational goals in each of our areas and what we achieve to do. And this is one which is of the utmost importance for all of us. It doesn't mean you all have to do it, but we all need to find a way to support it.
I think you're spot on. And I would just add to this is also a high impact practice. So this is something that can really help with our retention strategies. It's a student success strategy. In fact, I'm really excited. Dean Harper has worked with David Stone on putting forward a proposal for an undergraduate research center. So I'm excited about turning students on to that discovery work and, again, strengthening the fabric of our infrastructure around research.
Okay, I'm going to paraphrase this last one. Are there other priorities, other top priorities that each of you would like to touch on? I know we covered a lot today, so Ora, you can go first, and then Amy.
Yeah, well, I'm just thinking about our strategic plan. We've talked about our people. You asked about, you spent the majority of your time talking about student success and research. So I'll just mention a very top priority for me, which is community engagement, or what I call being a steward of place. And I don't know how many of you were at my interview. I know that our current board members were not at my interview, but many of you were at my interview. And I talked about Oakland being a steward of place at my interview now 9 years ago, exactly 9 years ago, actually. And for me, it was one of the important reasons that I left one institutions to come to Oakland, actually. And for me, it was really important because I was so proud of the fact that we were so deeply engaged in our community. Our students come from the local community, our region, and I'm very proud of the fact that they return to the local community. Over 95% of our students, when they graduate, stay and work here in Southeast Michigan. We are so proud of that. Being a steward of place means that we have a responsibility to contribute back to the vitality of the local community. You talked about the economic impact that Oakland has in the local community and that our alums have. Our alums give back $6 billion to the local community. Being a steward of place is our commitment to that. That has an obligation across everything we do. So that means if you're a staff member, you contribute by what you do in service. If you're a faculty member, we want you to think about how you consider what you do in your curriculum to thinking about the local community. What kind of impact does it have? If you're doing research, do you think about real world solutions to real world problems? Not everybody has to do the kind of research that I did, molecular biology research. Can you solve a real world problem? Does it impact that? That's one of the reasons that we had the Changemaker grant applications that we were trying to solve. And so I'm very excited about what we're doing in Stewards of Place. And it's one of the reasons that we have a search ongoing right now for a Chief Community Engagement Officer, because this is a top priority that spans everything that we do in academics. The position is for a faculty member to be engaged in that. Everything we do in academics, everything we do across student affairs, and everything that we do across service. So that would be another high priority.
I would just like to say retention, retention, retention. That is one of my things that keeps me up at night. And I'll go back to the number 900. 900 students, being here in fall, but not coming back in winter term. Every student matters. every one of them. And so we've got to find ways to, to do this better. And it's not easy. It's not a one-size-fits-all approach to things. And we have to try multiple things to be successful here. But I'm very optimistic in this space, and we've obviously got a very developed retention plan. Our staff are working across the university on this. But, as Don Aubrey is trying to bring in this next year's class of 2,300 plus students, if we're bleeding 900 out the back end, it's going to be really hard for us to ever get ahead. And our retention rate is 76%. We can do better. Many of our peers across Michigan are up into 80% or above. And so I know that with your partnership, and I cannot do this alone, my team can't do this alone. I need each and every one of you to think about your role on campus, whether you're a faculty member, whether you're in facilities, whether you're in the business office, it doesn't matter. We all come in contact with students across campus in one way or another, and never discount that contact that you have with them. Do you stop when you see a student sitting in the hallway with their head down? Do you sometimes, I go and sit with students sometimes in the OU that are having lunch by themselves. I'm probably sure that scares them, but those are ask them how they're doing. How's your semester doing? Go up and talking with them. But the students really are why. They're why I know I get up in the morning, and I know that we can move the needle on this together.
Just to let you know, this afternoon, for those of you who are RSVP, just so if you snuck in, you're not going to get the survey. There's going to be a survey where you can ask additional questions. Right now, Amy, can you give us some final words before we adjourn for lunch?
Sure. Thanks, John. In closing, I just want to thank all of you, especially the faculty and staff of academic affairs and my outstanding team for being so welcoming and for your leadership and your dedication. I also want to recognize Dean Elaine Carey for her service as Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences. Elaine, thank you for your leadership and for the many contributions you've made to our university. Please join me in giving Elaine a round of applause. As many of you know, we're now conducting a national search for the next Dean of Cass, and we look forward to welcoming new leadership by the fall. I also want to thank my wife, Beth, for embracing my dream to move here and become part of the OU family. Thank you, Beth. I also want to thank President Pescovitz for choosing me to be your partner, who is truly the most amazing president and leader that I've had the privilege of working with. Ora, thank you for believing in me and bringing me here to Oakland. I'm grateful. I'd like to also recognize some of our distinguished guests who are with us today. Members of Cabinet, Board of Trustees, and Provost Council. Would you please stand and be recognized for your support of academic affairs? Please stand. Provost Council, please stand. There you go. Thank you. Oakland University is filled with people who care deeply, who work hard, and believe in the transformative power of education. When we align around a shared purpose, progress accelerates and we become stronger together. Thank you for advancing academic excellence, and thank you for everything that you do to make Oakland exceptional. This concludes our program. Thank you for coming, and please join us for lunch. Thank you.